Alright, guys. We have got a big finals here. New balance patch and all of that good stuff. And of course, herO, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming in the bottom right side on Dragon Scales up against Byun in the top left. This replay, of course, came from one of the many lovely AlphaX replay packs. This was part of the Ultimate Showdown number 13. It was the Grand Finals, a best-of-5 series between these two that go back and forth. And I am excited because Byun had a 60% win rate versus herO a few months back. They've been playing so much, and there's been streaks where Byun dominates herO, but also streaks where herO dominates Byun. Overall, still about 55, I believe, 56% win rate for Byun. In the head-to-head, he definitely is the predator, herO the prey, at least in online tournaments. And this was an online tournament, so we'll see if he can keep that up. herO, of course, massively outperforming Byun in the last 5 or 6 years when it actually comes to showing up at big live tournaments. Now, this is a reactor first into a 3-racks, and Byun has also skipped scouting, and he's skipped scouting, and he skipped the bunker. I mean, this is a deliciously greedy opening for him, but it also is for herO. herO didn't scout, and he's going straight robo and a blind shield battery. So if he just chronos an observer across, he's going to see what's happening. He can go to Colossus, and his build actually counters Byun's build. I mean, the best... Okay, so the reason is, if Byun commits to the 3-racks really hard, he just gets wrecked by force fields and Colossus. However, he should be able to delay the third base a long time. Where if he can, like, just deny the third of herO and maybe snipe it once or twice while it's building, he can play a macro game from there. The problem that happens then is herO might commit to a very hard 2-base Colossus Sentry Stalker timing, and that can ruin him. That's interesting. He goes very early Sentry, so he can do a quick hallucination using those sentries that build like 3-4 seconds faster. Pre-warp gate at least. We'll see what goes on, man. This robo build was getting really popular for a few weeks early in the patch, like when it was still testing before it was released. I remember I was getting really annoyed because no one had really done robo first openings for a long time. And I kept running into Protoss players playing just like herO is now in tournaments and going, seriously? And because I kept trying to surprise them with 3-racks like Byun was open to do. And it just doesn't feel nearly as effective when you get scouted like that. You're like, oh, really? Oh, he's got a second gas going down. Wait. That's a odd timing on his build. Only second gas now? I was going to say, yeah, you need a third gas as well. If you're delaying the gas this long, you need a third. There we go. He does get a third gas. Robo Bay and 2 bases filled up with workers. Just a few more left on the minerals there. And he's going to go... Disruptor? Oh, herO! He's going to go Speed Prism Disruptor drops. Okay. I mean, he's confident these guys with the battery can defend the ramp, and I think he's correct on that. Because if he goes in, you can double force field, battery overcharge, and he's screwed. If Byun goes up that ramp, you're basically hoping he doesn't know how to force field properly. It's so dangerous to go in there. But he can deny the third, as we mentioned earlier. Now, you gotta be careful to not get caught by Stim Marines. herO does get out of there. And yeah, sending 1 Marine up, acceptable, loses it and says, yeah, that's not very viable. Now, Twilight Council goes down. Generally, 2-base first 2-base is good for Terran. You really want, as a Protoss, to get a base ahead. However, because he's invested in this tech, he could drop a big disruptor, kill a bunch of SCVs, and then secure a third base behind it. Would be a very nice way of playing this for herO. herO might also be able to just push across the map, use a mixture of force fields with all of that to do some damage. Now, here we go. Only 2 SCVs, so no big damage at all. He's going to go around the backside. Fair bit of dead space here, so you can kind of choose where you come in. Choose your own adventure. With exactly where and when you want to fight these days on that new map pool. Disruptor drop is veering left, right, and center. He could drop it here, but it's a little risky. Yeah, it's not quite ready to fire, so dropped it just a bit early. Adept cleans up the Marine over here. Third base will go down, and he can easily defend that, but he should have his units out there ready to defend it. Oh, watch out. Okay, I like the way Byun's stimming those units back and forth, looking for it. Gets a stim out again, and I think he gets this shot off for sure. Oh! Oh, okay. 4 more SCVs and doesn't take any hull damage. That's really good. Oh, but the Marine stibbed in and killed his Nexus, guys. But no, he canceled the Nexus. Otherwise, it would show up in the units lost tab. So he loses some resources, but he did cancel it. herO is going to retake the third Nexus while doing an attack here. And at the same time, Byun's going to go across the map with a double drop. This game, okay, Poo-Poo is about to hit the fan, guys. Another Disruptor shot comes in. Only hits a single SCV there. Very good dodges. But you know what? That double drop is going to ruin a herO that has 5 gates and no charge. At the same time, this attack's going to ruin Byun, potentially. He's going to have to pull the SCVs and spread against the Disruptors while trying to get that double drop in on the other side. Oh, the Disruptor shot mostly dodged, but still pushing him back, and these SCVs are in big trouble right now. Vikings are coming forward. They could potentially deal with the Warp Prism. The double drop comes in, but it's not being sent to a crucial position. Byun miscontrolling. Oh, he cancels the third, but look, now there's a ball waiting for him. Oh, no. Oh, good reaction by Byun. Great multitask. He's known for that. There's a tank on the high ground for Byun, which will eventually defend. He needs to lift that command center as well. Double drop picks up. It's going to try and veer back. If he can trap this army, that could be big. Stim Marauder's going to go after the Disruptor. The Disruptor, a big ball to the face, takes those 2 Marauders out. Marine and Viking does kill the 1 Disruptor. Recall will save some of the units. Stalker's going to try and get out of there. And with Blink, they should be able to. 2 Disruptors pick up and immediately go across the map. Byun is going to try and pick off some buildings for free. He's actually still somehow got 44 workers alive and a 3rd command center finished. Byun is somehow ahead after all this. Don't ask me how, I don't know. It has been 2 base versus 2 base for a long time, so I mean, you've got to say that he has just been mining more money, no doubt. herO actually slightly out on the income. Maybe scams being used more often than mules in this case. Catching that army is big for herO. Prism's going to come in though, and watch out for the balls. Oh, 6 SCVs and a Marauder. Vikings no match for the Speed Prism in terms of pure pace. 3.85 move speed. The Warp Prism is about 5 move speed, I believe, with that speed upgrade. It's incredibly fast. 3rd base is now on the way, but herO needs to round out his infrastructure at home. He's got 3 Disruptors. He's adding a Colossus. I'd like to see Charge in that upgrade tab in the near future. And if you can get some more Disruptor shots. Oh, no, get out. If he decided to... No, this is so dumb. What are you... herO! Oh my god, it is recalls on cooldown. This is the dumbest move ever. herO, why would you go in there? You know you don't have recall available. Oh my god. herO, I thought he was back in like a really dominant position, and then he just commits. After he got blocked, he just needed to fly away, but herO, the secret to his success is his aggression. Sometimes he gets overly aggressive and just can't put it back in his pants. It's like, dude, just zip it up, put it away. Nobody wants to see those Disruptors hanging out there, but he was just way too focused on trying to ruin Byun's family photos there and get those sneaky balls in. But the Vikings were there. The Marines, the Marauders, the tanks shut that down, and that gave up a lot of his splash damage as well as his mobility in that Warp Prism. Stalker's going to come forward. Oh, gets a medevac. It's worth it for 1 Stalker, as long as you don't lose any more. But Byun, he's got concussive Marauders. And, okay, only 1 Stalker ended up dying. herO now is doing double Stalker harassment. That's very cute. This is very herO, the Chaos Master. He's got 8 Stalkers on the right. Those other Stalkers came off hotkey. Gets 2 SCVs there. Gonna have to get out, though. That tank, well placed, covered a lot of that with that other tank as well. He's pretty much rock solid is Byun. He's got +1 attack on the way. Starting to wall off there, and he's going to go up to his 5 barracks. Does need to start armor. Meanwhile, herO goes to a 4th base. He's going Disruptors, Gateways, DT Shrine, and he's accidentally making Resonating Glaives. That's meant to be charge. He's misclicked it, guys. And you know what? Knowing herO, I wouldn't be surprised if he legitimately clicks on the upgrades in the bottom right rather than actually using the hotkeys. I'm gonna guess. I'm pretty sure that's the case because I don't think the default, and I think he uses mostly standard hotkeys. I don't think charge and glaives is next to each other on the keyboard, so I think he clicked on the wrong button in the bottom right command card. herO is a mad lad. He is a Chaos Master, and he is one of the few players in the world who uses the same mechanical techniques that Bronze League players play, but he does it as the best Protoss in the world. And like he is, and what makes him the best Protoss in the world is actually his mechanics as well. That's the funny thing. It's like his techniques seem bad, but somehow by always doing things in a weird chaos way, he's able to adapt to any situation his opponent throws at him. Other Protoss players get overwhelmed in the chaos. herO thrives in it. Stalker's backing on off. Oh. Blink DT is already on the way. You know what? This actually looked kind of hard for Byun to find his way in. I like this call from Byun. Adding Libs, 4th Command Center, Ghost Academy. I think he's really gearing up for a much slower game plan here. Oh, that's a big army of Protoss stuff. And he does pull back nicely. Very well done. All right, so we've got 2 Forges up now. herO building them next to each other makes it much easier to chrono boost. I do like that. queuing up a bunch of pylons. 2-2 upgrades are starting. This is actually pretty damn good position for herO to be in. I like his expansion pattern as well. I think it's kind of hard to pull his attention away. I'd like to see more forward pylons though. And like maybe even a proxy gate in the top right, maybe one down here would be really good. He doesn't have a warp prism and is only now getting that second robo as well. Also has 3 sentries. Seems a little bit late in the game to have so many sentries, but actually he warped these in at like a minute or more ago, so fair enough. DT's getting ready for a backstab. Because Byun's put no pressure on herO, herO's got all of the tools that really turn the favor of this matchup. I would say in Protoss' favor, unless the Terran plays a Maru-esque game of leaving no openings. I mean, if the Terran leaves no openings, their army still does absolutely smash in a frontal fight. I like that. He's like, oh, he might look at this army quickly, just get away from there. His turret out front though. Oh, those DTs just waiting. Okay, Nexus on the high ground does get cancelled. 5th base goes down. Charge did get remembered here. DTs blink in, take out the tank. They're going to take out the Ghost as well. He could go for the upgrades, but not going to just yet. Stalkers do get caught in the bottom right. DTs going into the main and the natural. It's a slaughter. Byun a little slow to react. Looks like the DT in the main base does go down. The DTs in the natural are ripping those turrets apart. And he's going to even get the eBay, but that one is not upgrading. So it's just an annoyance, not actually stopping an upgrade that had already had like a minute or 2 invested in it, which is the biggest bummer. Scan goes down behind the natural. DT's trying to blink on out of there. These 2 DTs get in the main. He's going to go after the depot with one of them. Baits another scan while this DT running around the main base being an absolute bag of Templar. You know, there's lots of things hitting you in the face that can be a bit frustrating. Many of them start with D, and this one, bag of Dark Templar to the face, really pulling Byun's army back. He's got a lot of tank lib. He might be able to hang on at the front, though. It's a lot of Zealot Stalker Colossus. They might be able to just bust through. Byun needs to get his army down here to support the siege units. This is such a good move for herO because so much army was defending the DTs in the main. The Vikings doing good, but the tanks are all gone. He got rid of all the technical units there for mostly Zealots. That's basically what he traded, but he does have to be a little careful. A couple force fields would be nice. Oh, a big ball on the disengage. And that's going to make herO incredibly happy. Very, very happy there. All right, 5th base does go up there as well. There is another command center on the right side, so he does have a 4th up, but can he hang on? I mean, he doesn't have any siege units. The Colossus and the Disruptors should be able to wail on it, but all the Disruptors up the front. One of them lands despite that. My god, the Colossus, so fragile. Finally start to fall there. Took him a while to focus fire them though, and I think herO might just have the numbers, even with mostly Stalker Zealot left over, to pick away at the Terran player. 2-1 versus 2-2 upgrades in favor of herO here. And it just looks like, look at that in the supply. Yeah, there's no Prism on the front, but he's rallying Disruptors forward. He's still got a Colossus to fall back on. The Stalker's looking for the Ghost Academy snipe. Oh, Marauder's chasing him down. I'm surprised he doesn't bring the other units forward to deal with that. He's so wounded from the EMP. These Stalkers are taking a bit of an awkward battle. Zealots and Disruptors coming forward. That one Liberator is still standing strong. Stalkers chasing after this. Nice. Oh, nope. I was going to say nice Disruptor shots, but they kind of went and veered off to the side a little bit. Stalker's going absolutely ham right now. The Colossus moving on in. And Byun just doesn't have the numbers. Even cleaning up some Disruptors. He's outgunned, outmanned. And herO able to take the first map. A scrappy, fun game there to start off the series. All right, guys, let's go into game number 2 here. Coming in with a very early probe. Tries to block the barracks and get some damage. But I like that Byun very quickly pulled another SCV and got that barracks down without any delay and in the right position. So herO unable to find too much impact there. Does get a bit of probe damage. Remember, the probes micro a little bit better. You don't need to wait for them to fully stop decelerating before you can harass. This should be a slight buff to herO, who loves to harass with his worker. Oh, he goes for it. Oh, and he gets 4 workers to pull off minerals. So quite a lot of wasted minerals just by threatening the dive. Very good move. Very good move there. Keeping this SCV chasing him as well. He's going to go for it again. Oh! He tags it. He tags it. That SCV, if you just repair that for even 1 second, you'll get it out of the 1-hit range. If Byun loses that SCV, this is a big psychological issue in this series. Like he'll be, yeah, see, he repairs it. Smart man. Smart man. But it already is annoying having this just be in your face like this. Is a double gas build for Byun in map 2, Reaper into factory. And we've got Cybercore into the Nexus here for herO. Now, this is, of course, Royal Blood. First map was Dragon Scales. Dragon Scales is a bit of a longer rush distance than this one. And that was a very different matchup of builds. This is going to be more interactive. He cancels the second Reaper, starts a reactor. But look at that. herO is going to scout it. Hides the probe back here. And he might actually wait to see the command center go down and then run up the ramp. Because this SCV builds a command center at about 220, 215 usually. And see, he does get the depot raised on him. Sees the reactor though, which means there's not too much pressure to worry about. And the adept pops out just in time to make sure this Reaper can't get any kills. Very nice opening for herO. But remember, it's not the most efficient for either side, right? You've gone double gas, delayed command center, and it has to go on your high ground and float down. On the other hand, Protoss sent a worker across at the very start of the map. And also went Cybercore before Nexus. So both players are just going to be a little bit more slowed down than that last game where they were skipping scouts and cutting corners and all that sort of stuff. Widowmine's going to go for a bit of a cheeky burrow. Starport is there. Mule's dropping. Got a second gateway at the ramp, and we should see Blink start up. All right, so a 2-gate Blink. We'll see if this goes into a Robo and maybe even a third and a fourth gateway. Probe was happy to sacrifice himself for the Widowmine, but he lifts it up, doesn't let that happen. Third Widowmine and a medevac on the way. So it looks like it's going to be just a Widowmine drop build, a bit of a classic here for Byun. Byun's favorite way to play TVP, right? Widowmine drop, get a Raven over there, and then potentially pair that up with a Marine tank push on the front as well. So you got Widowmine drops in the main, auto turrets in the natural, and then Marine tank killing the third, wherever that ends up getting placed. Adept on the high ground, continuing to keep this Reaper at bay. And, oh, but if you let that shade finish, you can jump to the high ground. Nope. Does cancel the shade from the high ground. Robo goes up in the natural. Nicely done here by herO. We'll see if those two more gateways go down. He's got the minerals for it. It's either that or a third base after warping in these units. And hey, double gas. So we're going to be seeing Colossus. So Blink, 2-gate into Colossus. And oh, great scout. Byun sees it straight away. Now, does herO cancel the gas? Because you got to wait about 2 seconds for the death vision to disappear. And then you can cancel those. But no, he's going to keep it. Doesn't mind this being scouted. Widowmine drop's going to move on in. Only 3 stalkers. Fourth one is going to be warping in there. And see how well he does this. Yeah, could have pulled a different probe closer to avoid the double kill there. Not the cleanest, but not the end of the world either. Stalkers, they got blink, man, but they aren't blinking down there. There's so much dead space in the back. But, oh, he baits him into dropping the Widowmine and actually catches it before it can shoot. So that's pretty effective. Stalker in the third as well. And he's forced to just hide in the dead space. Okay, Byun's going second and third barracks. He's got the Raven out. And that, of course, will move across the map. Siege tank is out, building a second one. This is the one-size-fits-all style that Byun likes to go. The set piece is, hey, you play Blink, so you don't have Phoenix. I can auto-turret harass you. I can keep Widowmine drop harassing you. But only having one Widowmine available, that does actually severely weaken what he can normally do with this. Behind it, he's also not got tanks or bunkers covering the natural, which means free kills, man. Stalkers are just going to waltz on in here and grab 3 or 4 SCVs easily. And, oh, not grabbing that. Oh, he's just going to go for the Marines. Interesting. Is this a bit conservative with the Stalkers? I don't know. We'll see if he can rotate those bad boys back. And 4 is the magic number to one-shot Marines without shields. I think he got pretty good damage. Auto turret comes in, gets 2 kills, and of course, does force him to pull off mining. Now, I believe this might be the auto turret. Oh, no, this is the latest version of the auto turret, actually. I wasn't sure exactly on where this game fell during patch testing or post-release, but it looks like it is the final version of the patch that this one was played on. The Ravens lasting only 8 seconds. And of course, those Ravens, the auto turret, sorry, only lasting 8 seconds, but the Raven building much quicker and costing 50 less gas, making it way more accessible. Byun turtling up now with a third command center on the high ground. I think this is a very late third for herO. What's going on, man? He's going charge, Colossus, extra gateways before third base. I don't think that makes any sense. Auto turret. Nope, that's an F2. That's an F2. Select all army key. Oh, look, he gets... Oh, this is so patient. Oh my god, this is so good. But Widow Mine drop does come in. Oh, is it so good? When your opponent's making a silly mistake like it looked like Byun was there, you got to think to yourself, wait a second, why is he making that mistake? It's because he's looking elsewhere. That's why. He may have thrown away a bunch of Marines, but he gets 8 probes for it. I think that's a trade he's very happy with. Remember, this is already a slow third, and now herO, not only has he gone for a crazy amount of tech, he went charge, +1, and Colossus, but he also delayed his third so long. Now he lost some more probes. He has to go for a big all-in. And the thing is, Byun has 3 tanks. So he's like completely immune to an all-in. I think essentially what I would do if I was herO, I would build to about 50 probes. I would actually be pulling off gas here. And I'd be going nothing but Zealots. I'd say, look, I've got 3 Colossus. I'm going to build a Warp Prism next. I'm going to go +1 armor. We're going to do a 1-1, 3 Colossus time with lots of Zealot Stalkers. We're going to wait for you to move out, take your third. Hopefully the tanks move into the open. And then we're just going to go for a big 50 probe all in. And hopefully you're building up to 60, 66 SCVs. I can kill the tanks, and then I can ruin you. But you need to hide these units if you want to do that. And you can see that it seems like herO being a little bit indecisive because Byun is so turtled up. And this is not the right time to show this army on the front. I think he gives away that he's trying to be aggressive. And he's also very indecisive about, is he attacking or is he upgrading and going for economy? Because he's building probes only intermittently. Like, he chronos probes, but he didn't actually queue up extra probes. There we go. Okay, now he's queuing extra probes. He's going for Zealot Archon on the addition of this. He's simply far behind in the numbers, and without putting all of his money into one particular bucket, he's going to be in a bad spot. herO getting caught out in the open, a disaster at positioning-wise. Oh, the Widow Mine drop flank from behind. Byun with an absolutely monstrous Widow Mine drop to flank. Pulls the boys, jumps on top and says, man with gun is here for some revenge. That first game was a one-off, mate. There's a reason why I have a dominating win record versus you, and it's going to continue forwards. Byun shut that down hardcore. That was absolutely brutal, man. All right, guys. Shopify Rebellion's Byun is down in the bottom right now. Map 3, it's tied up. Got kind of stomped in that last one. But, I mean, the Widow Mines didn't go as well as he could have, and definitely herO shut it down. Now, here. So, 1 base. What is this? What are you doing, herO? herO? What are you doing? Now, I think it's just a proxy Oracle. I think he's just going to basically proxy an Oracle, try to do some damage, Zealot harass, Adept harass, and it's blind Marine first. herO. Oh my god, and if he doesn't build a reactor and goes factory, which he's doing, oh my god, he's going factory, which delays the reactor. Oh, he's so screwed. This is because he's not going to see it coming. The Zealot is going to ruin his natural. The Adept will be right behind it. The Marines are already delayed like 7 seconds because the factory used the gas. Yeah, this is perfect matchup of build orders for herO. Now, it doesn't mean it's over. Byun could still micro like a boss, surround that Zealot with SCVs, or cancel and quickly rebuild and bunker up on the high ground. He could be fine. But if he pulls to the low ground and gets, loses the SCV and loses the Marine and keeps trickling SCVs down here and can't finish the command center, that's where things can go very rough for him. Stargate's already almost finished. Zealot arrives. Command center has 12 seconds left. You gotta go after the SCV, but in the command center. herO, a little bit slow on that. 8 seconds left on the build time. 9 seconds, one could argue. Why is he running away with the Zealot? Zealot being very conservative. Ooh, it means that command center is almost finished, man. Oh my god, the command center, 71 out of 71. herO really means an FCV taps that command center and it finishes. The Zealot and the Adept can do very well right now against 1 Marine, 1 Hellion, not against 3. That SCV is going to come down. He's going to do it. Tag, you're finished. Gets the command center, does die for it. That's actually pretty good though. Being able to finish that command center is huge because that unsupply blocks Byun here. And that's why I think it was a big mistake of herO with his Zealot micro to not shut that down a little bit faster. The Adept goes down. The Oracle's here, though. And oh my, oh me, oh my. The Cyclone's still 20 seconds away. The Oracle with its laser beam is going to... What? Why'd he turn his laser off and run away? herO just flew into the base, killed all the anti-air, and with 20 energy left on his Oracle, turned the laser off and ran away. Was that a misclick? herO, what? First the disruptors in that first game, and then what? You could have just killed 5 SCVs. He didn't know when the Cyclone was finishing. But game sense should tell him to stay there for at least a few more SCVs. That's a crazy, crazy move to give up those kills. And now he comes in and loses both Oracles because Byun does the hot pickup with the medevac. Oh, no. He missed a big opportunity there. Now the Phoenix is coming in. Boy, no, don't rally that in. Oh, this is a big problem. Big problem. He could have got a lot of damage done there. Now, don't get me wrong. Losing the Oracle does suck. You could argue if he kept both Oracles alive, it's all right. Cyclone drop will not be able to beat 3 Phoenix, but it can definitely beat 2 Phoenix. Oh, yeah, that's kind of annoying. I mean, doing this drop is kind of risky, though. But there's no Stalkers here. The Adepts are moving in. Shade, shade, shade. If he shades up the ramp, he should get up. Oh, no! A little slow on the shade. He lets him evacuate. Oh, herO! He's just a little bit late on a few of these things, but nonetheless, he's still in a good spot. He's got 4 gases, he's got a robo, he's going to recall the Adepts, but he's only got 2 Phoenix for anti-air, and that puts him in a bit of a pickle. Unless he repowers that Stargate and builds more Phoenix, it means you kind of want to play Blink, but it's very late to go Blink without having like Charge or something like that. Now, on the other hand, of course, beyond Slowdown. His Command Center was slowed down, he did take a lot of damage, but with no 3rd Nexus on the way and 4 gases for herO, I wonder where herO is going to invest his gas right now. I kind of look at this game and go, don't you need a 3rd Nexus? But he's trying to play catch up on the tech, so I understand what's going on. Cloaked Banshee is there, which of course herO doesn't know about, and he has no detection right now, having lost both of his Oracles. First Banshee sneaking around the map. This is very dangerous being out here with so few units as Byun. Phoenix lift up the Cyclone and that sort of stuff. They could save these, but looks like 1 Adept will go down. 2 Adepts going to shade into the natural, potentially kill a few SCVs, not too bad. Looks like he's going for a big push, is Byun. Immortals being built. There is already 1 Observer on the map. The Adepts are going to get taken out by these Cyclones. Nice lock-ons by those bad ones. And the SCVs go down. Yeah, I think it's a really good point that the Oracle, I think normally I'm behind the pullback of the Oracle because you know the Cyclone's about to pop. You already killed the Marines, you got good value. This is an interesting discussion. I might look at this at the end of the game and talk about it a bit more, but I feel like there was still about 15 seconds left, which is a lot of time. And I do think herO should have known with how close his Stargate was that he had a lot more time if they've gone Hellion into Tech Lab into Cyclone, which he did know, but maybe just not quite passing all that information in the chaos of microing the Zealot Adept. Stalker Immortal are here. He tries to take out the Observer. Oh man, trying to take out the Observer with the lock on Byun, the dirty boy. The Banshee's doing big damage. Siege Tank Cyclone doing what it can. You know, herO might defend this. Battery overcharge is pretty good. Byun pulling back that ramp, scaring him a little bit. And now he's just going to go for ramp control. I'd like to see that 2nd tank siege up there. But in fact, he's actually just going to go home. That makes sense because he's gone 3rd command center behind this. And you're going to have a 3rd up when the 3rd has not even started for the Protoss player. So Byun's actually done this really well, navigating the chaos of the early game so very well. And herO's comeback play is to go Warp Prism speed. He wants to... But why? No, it's Observer speed. What? I'm not sure why he's going Observer speed. I mean, okay, so the thing is, I want to explain the stress of this situation. If you're in herO's shoes, you have just less money, less production, less stuff. You've got some good, you know, resources in the Sentries, the Immortals, the Stalkers. But Observer speed is an upgrade you get very rarely in like late game scenarios. I mean, it allows his Observers to easily track the Phoenix. So I guess he's like, this way, this 1 Observer can quickly run to wherever the Banshees are. That's actually the play. Yeah, he's actually said, I don't want to build another Observer because I want to be building Colossus. So if I get Observer speed, I can rely on 1 centrally located Observer to very quickly pair up with the Phoenix and hunt down Banshees. Oh, cute Banshee harass. He's going to go after the Sentries, gets the Stalker, gets the Sentry, gets another. No, the shield battery does save the other one. But here we go. Observer speed, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, he gets in a Sentry before losing both of them, but that is a Giga Brain reaction there. The Observer speed allowing the Phoenix and the Observer to hunt down those Banshees quite effectively. Going Disruptors, double upgrades in Blink. These are all the sort of things that can get you back in the game as herO. He's obviously only got minerals on his 3rd for now, and looks like he's going to take a 4th and a 5th up here, expanding in that very standard pattern. The scary thing is the push can move across at any point, and 3 siege tanks have pretty serious amount of artillery behind any amount of bio. I like that he's on the front looking to see what he can do. I also like the Observer can kind of run around and set up ahead of the army and quickly unsiege and run away with that Observer speed. Any value you can get here is pretty nice. Zealot does derp in a little bit. Tanks are going to siege up there, and herO's just going to pull on back. He's got a 4th base on the way. He's just trying to keep Byun occupied right now. 2nd Engineering Bay and Armory will start 2-2 in a moment, so definitely should be an upgrade lead for Byun. Let's see how quick he is on starting those. Sensor Tower going down at the front. Oh, it's a very good Sensor Tower placement. That gives you a lot of vision of anything coming in to hit you. Remembering concussive shells, and Byun breaking the mold. Goes +2 attack before going armor. After a year, maybe a year and a half of us ranting about how he always goes armor first, Byun, in about 70% of his games now, I feel goes +2 attack before +2 armor. It's actually really cool that he did fix that. I thought it was going to be one of those habits that gets really, really weird over time. And you just kind of go, come on, man, fix this. You can't keep accidentally making armor upgrades. herO's got battery cannon covering the bases from Widowmine drops. He's got a battery there. He's making Archons for tankiness. Ghost and 2-2 do come in. 4th command center's up. A lot of players would say that, I mean, herO just wins this game because he's made it to late game. Those players have not been watching Byun in the last 6 months. He's got pretty tasty gameplay at this stage. With only 2 Disruptors, 2 Colossus, 2 Immortals, that's not enough. You're going to need a lot more Disruptors than that to shut Byun out of this game. Only on 5 gateways is herO as well. He's only now going to 7 gateways. So he's still adding pieces of basic infrastructure, whereas Byun is going up to 8 barracks now. He's got ghosts on the map. Only 3 of them to start, but he'll add more of those. herO, though, getting some Zealots out. I'd like to see some more forward pylons for him would be great. Zealot Stalker will hunt down that Cyclone. Oh, what? Byun going for the craziest Doom drop. 6-7 full medevacs. His entire army loaded into the medevacs and he just boosts in the main. Byun is an absolute madman. What kind of a psycho does that without knowing where the enemy army is? He's just so comfortable taking risks like this. This is why Byun is so good at this matchup. He has this sense for where the enemy's army will be, where it won't be. And he does things which to me look insanely risky. Oh my god. And there's Phoenix on the map as well. There's Phoenix on the map. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. He's going to lose 1 full medevac. There's another red hit point one. If the Phoenix target it, he can kill a full medevac. herO, click the medevac. herO did not click the red hit point medevac. He missed out on killing a 2nd full one. That move did not pay off for Byun. He plays some of the number of times he knows he's contained by Stalkers here, and he'll pick up his army and just fly out on this angle. Like, missing their vision by a tiny bit. And I'm like, if they see that, they blink and kill full medevacs. And Byun's just like, I think Byun's realized the best way to beat Protoss is actually just to do dumb stuff that they can't always predict. Like, you have to, if you're unpredictable, I always say, the moment you're predictable, Zerg versus Protoss, Terran versus Protoss, the Protoss players that are really top tier will take advantage of you. But if you can add just a little bit of stupid into your play every now and then, it actually makes you so unpredictable that they start second guessing themselves. Sometimes that Doom drop gets in, they don't have recall, their army's not nearby, you kill the whole main base. Like, this stuff pays off. You don't want to do it every game, but just a little bit of stupid sprinkled in there is actually legendary. And I know I sound kind of harsh, but I actually truly believe this as someone who plays on all sides of the matchups, that when someone does stuff like where they just randomize their play enough to make it so you can't anticipate what they're going to do next is very annoying. Look at this. herO right now is like, where are you? Where are you? And Byun split up. He's going to go for a split push. That army's nearby. Watch the F2 though. And that means the army on the north could get really dangerous. He's got to split to the north. Oh, there's only 3 medevacs. There's only 3 medevacs. There's not enough space for everyone to get out of here. Oh my god, ladies and children first, but one of the full medevacs goes down, the rest get trapped. Army on the top will take out the 5th base. The double medevac does evacuate some of the units. That ball could throw a big loose one at him. There we go, gets a good shot. 2 ghosts and a marauder go down, very nice shot. The Zealot Stalker scrambles there, gets there in time. I think this is actually pretty good for herO in terms of army versus army trades. The problem is his economy's getting hammered. On the other hand, Byun has way too many workers. Oh, okay. herO dodging his own balls there. Nicely done. herO's got a 50 army supply advantage. Byun has 88 workers. Byun accidentally overbuilt workers massively in this game, and he just traded army for economy, which allows herO to remax on pure army. He's not trying to rebuild the economy. He's just got so much more stuff. I don't know why there's 90 workers in this game. Byun must be massively oversaturated in some of his bases, his main and natural, and he just does not have the army to defend that gigantic ball of Protoss that's going to get in here and ruin his day. At any point, herO can also probe up behind this. He is rebuilding a 5th base that is off-center, as we can see on the minimap there. Stalkers will take out the orbital down here in the bottom side. He can then rotate up and take out that another orbital on the 4th. There's extra command centers, there's libs, there's all sorts of stuff building. But Byun waited too long to trade, and then he tried to force the issue a bit too much. herO is the only player that'll throw 5 disruptor shots at once. He's like, I think that was his way of saying get out, but he's like, here's five balls flying at your face. Leave, man. I'm like, okay, that's unnecessary, herO. What the hell, dude? What the hell, man? GG, well played. Nice fight there for herO. Alright guys, let's go into the next game. He's down a map. He's got no lives left. He's got to win this one and the next one. And we're going to Gresfin, a rather long map. Double gas build yet again. 3 workers on 1 gas spot on the other. Byun, why do you hate efficiency so much? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with pro gamers that keep doing this? Okay, I'm going to stop. I got the rage out as quickly as possible so I can just talk about the game. Adept getting chrono boosted and a robo opening again for herO. Interesting to see. Okay. He's going to be doing that same sort of robo build to get the early scouting. He did this, of course, at the start of the series on Dragon Scales. This map, I think it's particularly weak on, just because there's so much room for maneuverability on this map that I think it's very difficult. I mean, I guess the observer vision's more useful on this map, so maybe I'll take that back. I'm not sure. It's definitely something where I feel like getting Phoenix or Blink is more important on a big map like this with lots of room to cover. So that's what I worry about, the lack of mobility of the robo opening. Ooh, we might catch the Reaper. Gets 1 hit off, and that's a dead Reaper. Yeah, that Reaper cannot escape. Unless they bounce him perfectly, which is not really possible. But the Hellion can get revenge. Ooh, hit the Reaper. Oh, that Reaper's dead too. Unless he can do like a perfect grenade or something like that. Oh, he didn't get it. Actually, he wasn't quite able to catch it. Oh, okay. Good trade then for Byun. Reaper for an Adept, not too bad. 2nd and 3rd gateway and a battery on the way. Stalker's here, so that Hellion won't be able to get too much damage. Yeah, you can get a probe, but then you die. Behind this, looks like a Widow Mine is a couple Widow Mines medevac. Marines are building. Seeing that there's a prism, you gotta build a bunker right now, dude. I mean, a Widow Mine drop's going to be hard for him to deal with behind this, but I feel like a Prism... Wait, is he just going to go for 3 Stalkers? Surely he should bring this Stalker. 4 Stalkers is the magic number, so the problem with this 3-gate pressure is you need to bring 1 Stalker across the map to join up with it. But he hasn't done that, which means he can't one-shot Marines nor SCVs. It's going to be a very weird situation. herO apparently is just using this as a scouting prism. And you know what? It works out. It forces the drop home, scares him back. Reaper comes in, sees a Twilight Council. Forge is going down. herO is playing very 2-basey. I don't know what to think of herO's builds. My instincts say that they're not particularly focused in what they're trying to achieve, but on the other hand, that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. I'm just a bit confused about why you'd be going for such an early Forge on a 2-base build. This is interesting. Very interesting to see where this goes. No 2nd or 3rd barracks yet for Byun. He does need to get those started sooner rather than later. He's building lots of tanks. He might hit a supply block soon. 2nd barracks will start. I'd like to see that 3rd barracks. Oh, the Stalkers are going to shut this down. Oh, nice reaction. Pulls the probes, shuts it down hardcore, gets back on mining. Real well done there by herO. That was a good cleanup. He can now take a 3rd and get on into the next stage. He's got 4 gas. I wonder, is he going to go... I think Storm Drop's really good on these big maps. I think if you go charge and get Storm Drop at the same time, this is actually a pretty good build. And you can kind of dominate the map, and if Terran moves out to take a 3rd, you can maybe jump on it, do a Zealot timing. See what you can do. For some reason, people are asking where I'm from in the chat. Ah, it's Australia. Very weird discussions going on in the Twitch chat while I cast this one live. But, oh. What are we seeing here? Does he spot the Raven? I don't think he does yet. Got to be careful keeping these observers clumped near a Raven. I like the Viking down there to stop this coming in. Careful. Careful, that's a Raven. Okay, he's going to try and pull back. RoboBait is on the way, but it feels very late. So, like, with charge late, this late, and also no Colossus tech, this is what I'm talking about with herO's build. Like, things aren't lining up in a very clear order. You can get the Raven, though. He could blink to the... Yeah, he should have blinked to the top right. He could have killed that Raven. He could still do it. That Raven was exposed there. Okay, Byun does not have stim or shields. That's why he can't actually commit with this push. He's just going to hang out, try and scare his opponent, deny observers, you know, that sort of stuff. A Stalker drop is going to go around the map, which is one of the most technically, you know, it's low damage. It's very expensive. If you're not looking at it, it doesn't do well. Disruptors are trying to come out. I feel like herO should be ahead with how late this third is. And yet, I'm still very afraid for how he deals with the next big push. With just 1 or 2 disruptors, Byun is not going to let those balls land. And I've said that, and I know that usually when I say that, I cast a cursor, and then immediately it gets crazy damage. But yeah, definitely a little bit iffy. Yeah, these Zealots are throwaway Zealots. They don't really achieve anything. Those Zealots warping in don't do anything. Oh, the Stalkers get the Raven! Zealots did kill 1 more SCV during that, which is actually kind of nice. He's going to get a Refinery as well, which is hilarious. Oh, he gets the Viking. All right. Zealot not being focused at all, but oh, it's being left to its devices. Decides to damage 4 different SCVs before getting dropped on. Gets a Marine and then goes down. Stalkers here will pick off the SCV, putting the command center, which is actually really annoying for Byun. And suddenly, I think herO might be just poised to run away with this series. The third is so darn late. Byun's down 13 workers. herO, he's only on 4 gas, but he's got +2 on the way. He's going to 6, 7, 8 gateways. He can drop a 4th base right now. Add a second Robo, add a second Forge, and get way ahead. But he's trying to attack. He wants to bust. He's seen the tanks are clumped. Okay, so he really wants to get a double disruptor shot on those tanks if he can. If he can sneak the disruptors in range, he might be able to do this. Byun doesn't have many spotter units out there. Oh, okay, Zealot Stalker's just thinking about going for it. Not a bad disruptor shot, but I definitely think herO's got a lot of money floating right now. And with 8 gateways, he can't spend it. He should be dropping that 4th, getting that second Robo. He can run away with this game right now if he does all that. But herO instead is thinking about how to mess with his opponent. Zealot drop down the right side. This is the most underutilized move in the game. The main is always defended, guys. This is the most common drop angle. Very rarely is this right side of the natural here, the backside defended. In this case, though, herO is unlucky. There is a turret there. He can still get by it, but he'll take a lot of damage doing it. Not sure if he wants to risk that or he wants to just drop over here. Flies into the turret. Careful. Turns around and gets out of there. Going in when Byun's not even on the map with his army is already a little bit of a dicey play. So I like him just pulling that drop back now. Second Forge is on the way. Building a lot of static cannons, batteries, trying to get up to a 5th gas geyser and a dark shrine. So trying to stay single Robo is herO. Now this is one of those things that can pay off really big. If you can get into that, just like, you know, DTs a bit earlier than normal, surprise your opponent, have more Zealots, Archons, all those units, that can be good. But Byun's supply is getting very hefty. It's got a lot of units you're going to need to keep up with here. 4 Disruptors, 1 Colossus. The Viagra upgrade is halfway done right now, getting chrono boosted as well. And that second Forge is finished. So we will be adding more upgrades. I like the hallucinated Phoenix here. He's going to just see this army as it moves towards him. Looks like herO wants to fight right now. He's got to be careful. That Warp Prism is going to take a Widowmine to the face. Ouch. And Byun immediately running up to flank and maybe even break those rocks. So if herO moves in deeper, he could get sandwiched by this army. There is 4 medevacs on the map. That's not that many medevacs. So each stim, not easy for him to heal up from. Equal workers on both sides. 4 bases, 4 herO. Only 3 for Byun, but his 4th command center is finished and will be floating out as we say this. No ability to take the 5th base just yet for herO. The second Robo is up. This game is incredibly tense right now because they've both built up these large armies. They've both got good upgrades. herO's in the lead in that regard. Blink DT's even being added in on top. +3 attack. And do we have 2 Colossus out now? Yeah, 2 Colossus, 4 Disruptors. There's no Vikings on the map, so going into Colossus in this situation is actually very effective. But that army on the high ground, maybe going to look for the deny on the 5th again. There's Widow Mines everywhere. These guys could pick up massive value. I really think this is a very underutilized move by Terrans. Oh! Oh, big ball! 11 Marauders and Marines get blasted from the low ground. herO with a bit of a sneaky one there, and Byun is not going to be happy with that. I still think herO should have been able to run away with this game, but because he's kind of just slowly moved one step to the next, Byun's actually got a bigger economy than him. Byun's gone 4 orbitals. He's got a second starport. He's got ghosts. He's got his 2/2 upgrades. It feels like Byun should have been behind in going to the late game stuff. But I mean, we've seen herO against Maru. Same thing. Gets ahead. Doesn't really ever use his leads to get further ahead. herO likes to use his leads to try to kill you. In this case, he wasn't able to find any of that damage. And as a result, Byun's able to actually go, hey, I'm going to take 5 bases. I'm going to do fusion core. I'm going to go range libs. I'm going to go 6 bases. I'm going to do all this stuff. And you got to ask yourself, well, herO, why weren't we chipping away at him with disruptors? Why weren't we on the front line if we were committing so heavily to army and trying to force those fights? You could argue the numbers were a bit too high for Byun, a bit too scary, especially on a big map. But I do definitely want to see Warp Prism goes down. I want to see more pylons up on these maps so we can warp in on the front. Something herO's been lacking in this series is forward warp-in points. He hasn't been able to reinforce into fights as quickly and that sort of stuff. DT's just walked into a scan! No! Big mistake. Luckily, he blinks quickly, only loses 1 of those Dark Templar, but shows what he's up to. And that means Byun is going to be much more prepared at home. He's already still got his tanks at home. Those DTs have got to be careful. A massive Stalkers down the bottom. They're a Widow Mine cleanup crew, in case you guys are wondering. Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh no! Get out of there! Byun catches the Stalkers in the open. EMP and Marauders have a party. 4 or 5 Stalkers go down very quickly, but he's going to get jumped on in return. herO going to try and punish this. DT's coming in from behind as well. Nice classic little F2 there. Those guys are going to start working their way up. They could work on some of these command centers, try and find some damage. Plus 3/2 upgrades coming in. Shield upgrades starting for herO. So Byun is getting +3 attack, +2 armor. He's getting 4 Liberators at a time, but small problem. Byun forgot to use his Fusion Core. Classic. Terrans so rarely get to this stage of the game, they often forget to make the Liberator range upgrade for a long time, and Byun falling victim to that same thing. Oh, nice attack here. Whoa, sorry guys. Just bumped the second mouse that I had plugged in on the table. I apologize for that. That shouldn't be there. And Colossus picking away. Only gets 5 SCVs. Good SCV pull so far by Byun. And look at that. Gets rid of a few of these. Oh man, the blink is so annoying. Yeah, herO is a real pain to play against in these scenarios. That DT, no! Silly DT walks back into the scan. Disruptor will take out that Widow Mine. Another Widow Mine over here as well. These guys being a bit of a bummer. Another Disruptor shot has to get used to clear that out. Is he going to jump on him? I thought Byun was just going to try and jump on the exposed Disruptors and Colossus at the back of the army. That would have been a pretty wild move. Another Widow Mine up here. But the map control is being removed from Byun right now. Throw a Disruptor out to that right side, but I think herO is a bit distracted. DT is starting to work on the command center there as well. And it's... Oh, big Disruptor shot. If herO can keep moving like this, he can definitely overwhelm Byun in this scenario and try to find a way in. But I'd also like to see him up his gateway count. He's on 14 gateways. He's going to need about 20 or 30. He also needs Warp Prisms or Pylons and Gateways on the front line. Liberator tank doing big damage. He does get a Liberator, but that tank is being a big bummer for him. 3 Colossus doing what they can. We've got lots of cannons and batteries. Still no Psystorm being made. Remember that Psystorm is one of the best things in these games because you can leave a single High Templar and it's storming a squad of Bio that tries to come in is highly effective. These DTs continuing to do very well, but of course they will get chased down by Byun if he's got his eyeballs on, and he does. Oh, Stalkers blink forward, take out some libs. Got to be careful, those tanks though. But gets rid of one of them. One of them does survive. Still 2 tanks from the early game are up. 4 kills on that one, 5 kills on that, but so much more splash damage beyond what that number actually represents. 5 base Terran hanging on and just kind of weathering the storm. He loses some SCVs, but I don't think Byun cares too much. He's finally remembered advanced ballistics. He's already got +2 ship weapons, which means he is 2-shotting Stalkers after they are EMP'd. And there is no sign of a Stargate transition. Now, Disruptors outrange every unit in the game. Even post-patch, They can kind of outrange siege tanks. It has to be more pixel perfect than ever. But the thing is, there's only 2 tanks. They're down here. You can pick at this planetary. You can shoot disruptors into that mineral line. The problem is, if you look at herO's army, he's only now for the first time hit 8 disruptors. So he hasn't had that massive disruptors. He's adding 5 more gateways for the mass warp in. He's adding a 3rd robo, which is something I've been just touting for a long time as necessary. Whenever you're banking resources at max, I actually argue that 4 robos is good. And oh my god, herO's going to give in and build a Stargate. It gets immediately scanned. So Byun realizes that's going to happen. He's also getting rapid reignition system. Byun, Chad Gamer. Nice disruptor shot down there. Going to throw a few more onto this planetary to wound it, but the Liberators take out one of the disruptors. You got to be a bit careful. Mass Zealot comes in that left side. Looks like he was trying to throw these units away. He's got to bait the Zealots will bait him, and the disruptor will throw one from the high ground. herO's already setting up sneaky traps and just looking for those openings. If he comes around the top, he could pick off these command centers. There's no planetary there, but he's been afraid to corner himself in that angle, I think. Now Byun's going to move over here, and here we go. Let's see. Zealots, a few of those do go down. Disruptors will zone out Byun's army. This game seems to be slowing down. Immortals are being built for herO. I don't know about that. I don't know about Immortals. I always feel like Immortals, once there's like very late game range libs and EMPs, they do not do nearly as well as they did earlier in the game. It's not as many Marauders. It's not as much of a reliance on Marauders either. Liberator's getting some good shots off. It's a big army down here. herO, does he know about it? I don't think so. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. herO's going to be a little bit out of position. He moves further forward. The army is down there. Battery overcharge goes down. He's quickly going to scramble back to the south side. Byun's going to see what he can get done. 5 medevacs, a big pack of bio ghost. He's going after the probe line. Does get rid of that EMP. EMPing the next eye so they can't recall is a really cute move. Makes it very hard for the Protoss player to respond. He's going to get a decent trade-off. And even saves a lot of those units to get out. The empty medevac is the only one that gets focused there by herO. Byun picks up and dumps in that base as well. Problem for him is that it's a one-way trip. He knows he can't get out of here, so he's just got to trade as best he can. And he's doing a great job of it. The Stalker's not really able to shoot these medevacs down yet. On the other hand, those drops should be cornered now. There is a Stargate out there, but not a single Phoenix or Void Ray on the map. Just one of those would shut this down. That medevac does go down. Byun's got mass command center. He has got the Iron Bank complete. 12 orbital command centers. Byun has more orbitals than you ever really need. He has unlimited scan, unlimited vision. He's got mass libs, some ghosts, some marauders, some marines. This is a very scary position to ever break because look, he's building insurance planetaries. Now he's building like just extra defense anywhere he can. Byun is realizing, hey, in late game, Protoss is favored unless you play like Maru, unless you become impregnable. And that's exactly what he's doing. Much like the pill revolutionized women's destiny in our society and culture back in the 1970s. The proliferation of planetaries, it's been the protection for the Terran players in the late game. The late game used to be a terrible place. It used to be a terrible place. They figured out planetaries, towers, sensor towers and turrets. They know how to zone the map out. And no longer is Protoss able to find a fight and drop disruptors on their face wherever they want. This is now a situation where it feels like it's much more of your ability to hold at home is cemented, and it's more can the Protoss deal with your pushes, which up to now it feels like herO's struggling with. Only on 58 probes. On the other hand, remember, herO doesn't mind losing workers to replace them with army if it can supercharge his army and allow him to push in and finish you. "21 Stalkers, 15 Zealots." That's a trash tier army right now. 8 Disruptors can make it a good army if you can break in and force Bio to attack into you. But Byun has diversified his army enough. He's no longer focusing on that sort of army. He's actually way more focused on just saying, nah, it's all good. Oh, he is bringing Bio Ghost Lib down here. Notice he sends the Libs away, but he's got to pull back. Okay, he's going to try and secure this base. I see. Nice EMPs. Ooh, Ball does catch a bunch of the bio there. The planetary tanks. And these 2 tanks from the early stage still making this a really hard area to engage. It's like one of the Liberators got shot down. Oh, those Libs kind of facing in the wrong direction, but the tanks make it really hard for the Protoss to hang. Even just 1 or 2 Lib zones gonna scare you right off, mate. Byun's been very good reactively there. DTs are coming in. I still think herO's missing that top right angle, and I think that's huge. The fact that he has not been hitting the top right at all, that's the least cemented area of defense. He's got to keep his army moving here. Also, this base, there's no tanks or anything. If he can blink on that, he could kill a bunch of libs and drop 8 disruptor shots in the mineral line. He can kill this planetary so quickly, but now, too late. He's got to kill that sensor tower. I want to see him rotate in and start killing these. Oh, wow, Mass DT gets caught in the bottom. The cannon battery plus the overcharge is going to try to hang on. The DT is going to morph into Archons to try and buy some time, but EMP is landing on their face, and man, that's some good trades. Byun getting it back to units even though. Oh, it started as good trades. Does it stay as good trades? Well, medevac boost is pretty darn good, guys. Hit the NOS and get out of there. 5 medevacs somehow all survive. I can't believe it. herO had so many units he didn't want to overkill by focus firing. He's going to dive forwards. That's a lot of libs, though. He gets 1 or 2. I like the balls. I like the balls. Oh, cry havoc and let loose the balls of war, says herO. Gets rid of 1 command and it damages the other. He can keep doing that. Threaten up here, run back, drop the balls. Run up there, drop balls, run down there, drop balls. He's got to keep doing that. He's going Tempests. I think Tempests are actually a trap. I actually think if he can just deny this base, I do think he wins the game. The units loss tab is pretty even, and you're mining out more of the map, especially if you mine those forward bases earlier rather than later. That's going to put pressure on the Terran to come out and fight you rather than just sitting behind his walls like he's doing. But this oh, I don't know about this position, man. Oh, he's trying to throw disruptors on the sensor tower. That's what he was irritated by. The sensor tower giving vision. Little does he realize there's another sensor tower behind it. Oh, and there's this little thing called 13 orbital command centers. Byun can scan non-stop. He has the Eye of Sauron. He can literally see. You're holding a Palantir, and he can see right into your goddamn soul, herO. There is no way you're denying information from this man in this game. He can see everything he chooses to see. Command center is going to try and land in the top. Pylon blocks it. Can't imagine it would feel good if the command center does land on that spiky pylon. Ooh, command center will get sniped. I really want to see herO move down this angle, but he's got to be conservative with his disruptors if he gets flanked, of course. And I guess there's so many libs now. Actually, they could just corner him super hard if he does that. Tempests are going to start chipping away and force Byun to come out. Byun weathering the storm, fighting for his life, refusing to die in this game. I feel like herO has had a lot of control over the momentum, but Byun is making it very difficult. As I say that, he eats a giant set of balls to the face. Another one just zoning his army out. The Tempest doing so well, chipping away at these libs. That is 6 Tempests, which do a lot of anti-air damage. USCVs going down here as well. He can pick off those libs. That command center will not survive for very long. And, oh, there are some Vikings coming forward. Got to watch out for those. Remember, he never made Psystorm. Psystorm is the most underrated late-game spell that people need to remember is huge in situations like this because they can't EMP everything while they're multitasking to dodge disruptors, trying to micro Vikings forward, and all of that other stuff. There's a lot of stuff to focus on, and having a few High Templar spaced around to storm this army. They hit air, they hit ground, and they especially punish libs sieging forwards. You can notice a lot of Protoss players here don't make Storm in the late game. They forget about it. They think EMP counters it. They forget that it is actually so good versus mass, Vikings, medevacs, libs, all those units. Oh, that's a lot of disruptors, but he's got to be careful. He might have just emptied his load a bit too early. He's got 1 left, so he should be able to shoot it, but ooh, careful. Okay, Byun being pretty cautious there. The Tempest beating the Vikings. I think herO might have this. He's really damaging this, but he's only got 2 Colossus, 5 Tempest, 6 Disruptors left right now. Liberator Harass comes in. That's going to distract him. Nice move there by Byun. It looked like he was close to crumbling, but actually look at the army supply. And look at the upgrades tab as well. Only +1 air weapons with +2 coming in for the Tempest. +3 air weapons are finishing for the Terran in the next minute. Still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases for Byun. He's going to need to take a 7th one soon. And herO, the classic thing. Him, Reyna, all the top guys. I've talked about this for the last 2 years non-stop during the Turtle meta. Transfer your probes to the forward bases! This base is not going to be possible for you to hold on to later, but herO, forgetting this fundamental rule of late game against Turtle Terrans. Terrans have been turtling for the last 2 years, and top players have still not figured out that mining out the resources on their side of the map counters them. It counters them so incredibly hard, but herO's not doing it. The Stalkers are focusing down the Vikings. The Libs are here, shooting from afar. The Tempests will gun down those Vikings and win that fight, but big army coming on the ground. Oh, the Disruptors though, big land, but a couple of the Disruptors very low and stuck in front of the army. More disruptors do go out. The Zealot warp in there. Mass Stalker warp in. 14 Stalkers. I can't imagine Stalkers are really the best unit in the game right now, but he just needs anything that shoots up, that shoots down, and Byun is looking pretty dead. If he can't secure that 7th base, the unit's lost tab is actually trading in the positive herO. The Tempests are picking him off, and it looks like this series could win with the 3-1. herO denies another command center. Byun's on his last 1,500 minerals, 600 gas in the bank. Yes, he's mining still, but it's about 2 base mining. He's not got a lot of income coming in. He does still have a giant army, though, because he did lose a lot of workers. And herO is out of gas. Actually, herO's out of gas. That is one problem. herO's not mining gas. herO has not paid attention to his economy for a long time. He didn't put back on gas there after the Liberator. So he's actually way lower on gas than he realizes. He has never transferred to this top base. And Byun's going to try and push into him, but I don't think he can. There's still Disruptors, Colossus, Battery Overcharge can be used here in about 10 seconds. The Liberators do come forward, and with the Viking zoning for them, herO might want to just give up this base temporarily. We'll see exactly what he's going to do against this army. There's not that many Liberators. It's only 3 of them. Mass army coming forward. He throws all of his Disruptors at once and hits only Zealots. What are you doing, herO? He just threw every Disruptor shot and literally only landed on his own Zealots and then walks his Disruptors forward into their death. herO panicking. And like oh man, you do not expect a player like herO, a multi-time international champion, to get that excited and just bust his load so early. It was a huge mistake for him. It allows Byun to get a pretty darn decent fight. Remember, the gas is very low. herO has not fixed his gas mining, guys. He has not fixed his gas mining. This is massive. He's only mining off effectively 1 base gas. He is so focused on trying to kill his opponent. He doesn't want to let these mules mine, because look at that. Dude, he mined for like 30 seconds and he just mined 3,000 minerals out of that base. Byun now has him cornered on the right side. The army moves forward. The Tempests get isolated. Byun right now refusing to die. And he says, dude, herO, I know you always beat myRO in these situations, but I actually have such a good win rate versus you. I am so confident. I know if I hang in there, I always have a chance. herO needs to recall. He's got to get out of here. He has to recall this army out of the top right. He does save the entire army. Very well done. Liberator down there was still harassing that base. He still has not put back on gas. Please, herO, build some probes and put them back on the gases. He never took this gas either. Oh man, he's taking this gas geyser there. He's building 7 probes now. But he's still, oh man, he's got to fix that gas income. herO was playing this game with a 1-track mind. I think, there's always a point in StarCraft where you have to take a breath and think about the strategy objectively. You've got to think with the correct head when playing a strategy game. If you get trapped in thinking with the wrong one, you start making some brash decisions that you will regret later on in life. He's got his gas income coming back up now, but his mineral income's very low. He didn't mine this base out, which means that's just another base. This base he never even took. I mean, I've told you guys 14 minutes ago, Byun was clearly turtling. That was the point where he could have taken this base and this base, transferred 45 probes to both of them, 22 to each, and they'd be mined out by now, or very close to, at least half mined out. Now those are bases that are within arm's reach for Byun. It's a huge strategic miscall, especially Raynor and herO are the biggest, I would say, guys who end up against players that are turtling and just tunnel vision on attacking. And they do a good job of it, but that detail would totally change their performance. Great disruptor zoning, but those libs do cause some problems. I like that snipe on the planetary, though. Great usage of Mass Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor. The Disruptors really improve the power level of those other units. Unfortunately, though, he is losing a few probes up here. And trying to defend that base in the bottom is a very, very tall task. Looks like most of the army will head north right now. No way to rebuild the Tempest or anything like that. Alright, Liberator Siege, Tank Siege, Bio Ghost doing what it can. Byun is going to scan. He sees this army. Byun's got a gigantic army. Oh, get out of there, herO! Oh no! herO got engaged on the bottom and the top at the same time. herO was so busy Stalker microing on the bottom, he lost all the Stalkers on the top. He looks back and is like, oh, whoops. Oh man, he's going to try and remake some Colossus now. It's a hard position to be in for herO now. Stalkers are going to go after these libs. Mass Zealot comes forward. Byun does focus some of the Stalkers to punish them, but he loses quite a few bio units as a result. You've got to remember, though, as long as Byun has a new base to mine from at any moment, he drops 10 mules there and just laughs his way to the bank. Why? Because remember that 13 orbitals, now down to 12 after losing one. Still a crazy income whenever Byun's able to drop mules. He's going to start taking more gases slowly. He's going to float a new command center to the top side of the map. herO, on the other hand, that 44 probe is as good as it gets. You needed to use that army better, and it was all about throwing 6 disruptor shots, 7 disruptor shots all at once. Absolutely unnecessary. It's very rare you ever need to throw more than 3 disruptor shots at once. Occasionally, you want to throw 4 or 5 if they're 100% committed, but we saw that Byun evaded every single one. And one way to look back on that in hindsight is if your opponent got completely out of range of every disruptor, not by splitting, but simply by running away, they were never 100% committed, and you did jump the gun and pulled the trigger too early. herO's regretting that now. He could have had this series in the bag with a 3-1, and now he's rebuilding his Templar archives, or maybe he never built that in the first place. I think Storm would be amazing, right? These armies are very vulnerable to Storm, guys. There's not that many ghosts, and we're talking about it earlier. Storm is just absolutely massive, especially as a backup spell whenever the Terran does start moving forwards. You can't really force the Storm to be good aggressively, but in those defensive battles, whenever your opponent steps into your territory, that's where they are the most supply-efficient way to control the area. Oh, that top side's getting hammered. He's going to lose control of that base. There's not much there. It's mostly just one gas geyser. But any losing of control is a big problem right now for herO. He's trying to stabilize on the south side. Means he's going to lose even more bases in the north. Oh, he's going to blink in on the bottom side. Stalkers will take out most of these Liberators. I think this is a pretty good move for herO. He kind of needs to defend this area, but the Micro of Byun is making it a very costly maneuver. It's a lot of bio, but so many Zealots to soak up the damage that Byun has to be very patient. He's got to be patient. He was trying to go for the Disruptors there. Wasn't quite able to get it. A lot of units dying on both sides. But remember the income. The moment those mules drop on this top base, that's going to be 1,000 up to 5,000 resources. It's going to be crazy. Oh no! He brings back the army from the south. Oh, from the north side, sorry. Disruptors land in a big way, but there's no meat and potatoes left to guard that. The robo units go down. And just like that, Byun seems to have removed all the technical units. He has dug his way out of the grave. He has said, I will not die. Fragile wrists, fragile mitts. Take your Protoss dips and get the heck out of here. I don't know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Byun is like, get out. I'm really proud of this because I just made a sick comeback. He's 100% going to be very proud of this comeback. This is hanging on by your bare fingernails. You're on the precipice of defeat for the last 15, 20 minutes, refusing to die and just gritting your teeth and hanging on in there. And he's done a bloody good job of it. So well done. Definitely like to see this. Production tab's empty for both players right now. DT's blink to dodge the Widow Mine, kill a siege tank, but they're on a one-way trip to D-Town. You might think Dark Templar, the heroes of D-Town. Well, in that scenario, no, they aren't. They just got liberated. herO let that one slip him by. We have to rewatch that fight one more time to really absorb the lesson of that disaster in the north. All right, so this is that point where units lost tab was actually 4,000 resources in favor of herO. And he's doing such a good job of forcing Byun to be aggressive. This is what Tempests do with their superior range. They chip at the air units especially, and they basically force you to move forwards. He was doing a really good job of it. He's got 7 disruptors. Yes, his army's a little bruised and battered. I'm not sure if he overcharges in this fight, but notice how the disruptors are pretty far to the left, and this is, you know, the army's being pretty cautious of Byun. He's not diving in. So they dance for a little bit, back and forth. And that just made no sense. Now, this would be fine, right? You blink, you kill all the libs. If you've got 2, 3, 4 disruptor shots left, so you can then fall back after that. You've at least gotten rid of their technical air units. You're going to kill all these Vikings really quickly with like hold position while the disruptors force his ground army to disengage. And then you back off, you remax with your bloody 18 gates and you win the game. But instead, all of these valuable Stalkers, Colossus, Immortals, they're all going to get annihilated by the ground while the Vikings are also smashing the Tempests in the air because you've just emptied the disruptors all at once. Huge, huge mistakes. I mean, the bio army was not even that healthy yet. Just 1 or 2 more disruptor shots to thin out their numbers would have been a game changer. Huge mistakes for herO. Massive, massive mistakes. GG's. Alright, well, he got a bit excited there and wasn't able to finish it off. But luckily, he's scouting with a probe early because herO in the top right, going to Ancient Cistern, is going up against Byun's double Barracks Reaper opening. Bunny used this a lot in Atlanta. caused herO some big troubles. He was sometimes losing 6, 7, 8 workers at the start to the 3 Reapers attacking very fast. Can he wall off Byun? Byun needs to stop the barracks and wall off, but he doesn't. And that's a big mistake because that means this gets spotted immediately. And you know what the answer to this is as herO, guys. You chrono an Adept, then you chrono another Adept or Stalkers, and then you chrono a third one. You chrono those 3 units out with at least 2 chrono boosts on them, and you guard yourself. Maybe you add a shield battery, and you won't take any damage to this. The follow-up is always interesting, though, because the Terran is almost always following up with something like a 2-1-1. So he's going to have very quick stim and shields and, you know, Marines and Marauders coming across the map. Reaper's going to deal with this probe. herO not choosing to invest the recall in the probe. Recalling the probe is nice because it allows you to instantly get it home and start mining. But a lot of people want to save that chrono, especially in this scenario. Notice he's chronoing the Adept, and I think he's going to save this chrono for the Adept as well. The second one. And even getting a Stargate up. So yeah, this is pretty solid. Even delays Warp Gate, and bam, second chrono. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Super solid. Now, having it scouted, Byun wisely does not start a third Reaper. He's just going to wait till he has a bit more gas, then he's going to go Tech Lab and then Reactor. He could build a few Marines first, and there we go. He does choose to build those Marines now. Not a bad idea. I mean, you know that herO's got to respect it. He's going to pump out a few units, and as a result, wisely does not overcommit to the Reaper aggression. There we go. Reaper's going to move around that right side. Don't see any probes exposed on the low ground. Can't find anything just yet. Oracle first coming out for herO. I like this choice. I like the choice. The Oracle's a good idea. It can hunt down these Reapers potentially, get some scouting on the follow-up, and interestingly, third barracks is already on the way. Oh, the Adepts shade out. Why would you do that? I guess because the Oracle's almost here. This is such a dumb, unnecessary move, though. Oh man, herO, he does this sometimes where I'm like, this seems so risky. He had a battery, so actually I'm okay with it. I didn't see the battery. All right, the battery makes that completely fine. The Reapers are still here. Ambush. Oh, okay, you'll get 2 probes, I guess. Oracle will deal with those bad boys, though. The Adepts do try to get in here, but raise on the wall. Two probes is not too bad. Just got to send all those probes to the natural now. And indeed he does. Second Oracle on the way. That's interesting. The Adepts are going to try and bust the wall. Cyclone will be out momentarily. He's building a lot of Marines. Still no Tech Lab for Byun. He's going to build it in the back of his base. Very odd scenario because there's a lot of things that counter Oracles here. If you guys are a herO fan, hopefully he stops building these like right now. Committing here is a bad idea. It's a really bad idea. He's got 2 barracks. Trying to force the issue with damage, not a good idea. Second and third gateway go down. He needs to go Twilight. Or Gases and Robo. Whichever way he's going to go, he needs to do it soon. Adepts get 1 or 2 Marines, but for an Adept, that's really not worth it. Adepts, 1 Adept costs as much as 2.5 Marines in terms of overall raw resource value. So you got to be really wary with these sort of trades. And if the Oracles dive here, the Cyclones will punish. herO, last game, got in trouble for going too aggressive. I like that he's reining it in this time. He's showing that ability to adapt and adjust. The Oracles are going to dive, but is this... I mean, that seems a little indecisive. The Oracle's going in. Well, he trades 1 for a Cyclone. It's not the end of the world. I actually would argue, though, that the Oracle's the better long-term unit. Because stasis traps are very good, especially in this sort of action-packed game. If there's no Raven, if you keep both Oracles alive, you can actually spam stasis traps over the map. It's one of the most frustrating things to have stasis traps just randomly all over the map. And keeping those Oracles alive for that is actually very, very effective. Now, the Adepts are still just scouting, seeing what's going on, while Byun tries to stabilize. 3 barracks, factory, starport, building tanks, engineering bay, third gas. You can tell Byun's just trying to get all the standard pieces of the puzzle. Meanwhile, herO, he did get 3 gateways, which kind of told me he was a little bit paranoid, and then dropped a third Nexus. I think this third Nexus could have been much faster. He's now gone a Twilight, a third gas, and another gateway, but he's building Phoenix. So I think it's going to be Storm Drop Charge, because you wouldn't keep building Phoenix if you're going Blink. He's going to go Charge here, Chronos, but doesn't quite have enough gas. There we go. And he's going to play Phoenix Zealot, and because he's already getting a third gas, it tells us it's not just Phoenix and Zealots. It means he's thinking about the future tech. And if we see a 4th gas in a Templar Archives, maybe around 7 minutes, I would not be surprised. Phoenix going to pick up the Cyclone. Nice pick off. The Oracle actually fights the Marines, but that's no, he lost a Phoenix there. Staying too long, and the Oracle almost goes down as well. Picking fights where other players would run away may be herO's specialty, but throwing units into the dumpster where other players would preserve them is the price that occasionally comes with that. This time around, comes out in his favor. 8 Marine drop going across the map. That's a risky move for Byun. He has stim and shields, so the thing is, if it doesn't get spotted, herO is going to get smacked by it, right? That drop could just stim in and win the game. Just kill the battery, kill 10 probes. You know, it's massive damage this early on when they're both trying to get towards a third base. Third command center is building in the back, by the way. That has been spotted. herO sees the 4th and 5th barracks, but they're not that early. Problem is, his whole army's out of position, especially his Phoenix. And his Zealots just moved across the map. Oh my god, he doesn't have recall either. Oh my god, Byun, known for these dangerous drops. Remember, he did it earlier in the series as well. I told you guys it's his specialty, is doing these sort of crazy drops, but he sneaks it across, and it is a game changer. 6 probes, 2 Zealots, and an Oracle already. Take a 3rd Zealot, take a 4th. Where the hell is Charge, son? And it looks like finally it's going to come in. The Phoenix picking off these Marines in that medevac, but a great win there for Byun. That was a fantastic trade. A lot of mining time and chaos went down. And interrupting the gas mining pays extra dividends in this sort of game where he has very little gas. Now, the Templar Archives is now making Storm with no Robo out yet, though, and no Prism. He's not super mobile with the Storm. And Byun, on the other hand, is moving out to the 3rd and already into a Ghost Academy. Feels like Byun is now a bit ahead of the curve on that tech. Phoenix coming in, picking off 1 SCV. And gonna grab a few more. So you grab the idle SCV. The unfortunate thing about this harassment is it makes Byun notice this idle SCV, I bet. Phoenix pick off 6 SCVs. That's pretty darn good value here. Seeing the 3rd command center. Oh, no, the Widow Mines! Oh, boom, boom! Oh, that hurts. That hurts. He's lost 3 Phoenix in total this game now. He is going for Blink, so it looks like he's done with the Phoenix stage, but keeping up 5 or 6 Phoenix would have been much more useful. Up to 68 probes is herO, so he's going 6 gas on 3 base. Now drops a 4th. There's no Robo, though. You know you're up against a 3rd base. To not play Robo against a guy who's got a 3rd is crazy. Finally, the Robo goes down. Yeah, and he drops 2 because he's like, yeah, I'm doing this a bit late. The problem is that Armory could kick in at any moment, and then, like, if he's pushing you and you can't spot the Widow Mines, you have no detection, you can get in massive trouble. He's going to try and move out of the map a little bit with his Zealot High Templar. And I love Psystorm. It's a great utility ability for late game. Don't get me twisted, guys. It's not the greatest at this point when they've got Ghost Bio and you're relying on just a couple of High Templar with no Warp Prism, no Robo units. That's when it's not the best splash damage in the game by any means. You know, we were talking about in that previous game, it's all about late game. It's about when there's lots of air units stacking up. Having it as like an auxiliary extra piece of splash damage that hits air and ground is super huge. Huh? herO notices it. Does he though? Does he? Yes, he sees it. Okay, herO realizes there's something up there. He's got his Phoenix nearby, gonna make Byun think twice. Normally if you get spotted in TVP, pull back to a corner and you hide the units and you come in a little bit later. Notice Byun's just focusing now on clearing up map vision. He's gonna be very cautious with this drop, knowing that he could get jumped on. The Phoenix scouting around the edge. He's going to clear up a pylon and then run away. Yeah, should absolutely run away. You know you've already been spotted, so to continue in here is a very dangerous move. Byun says very dangerous is my middle name. How'd you know? And with Blink about to finish, dude, he's going to lose 1 medevac. He's very lucky Blink wasn't done or he would have lost both. That was a really dangerous move. Byun had no way to know that was going to work out. He got very lucky there. Phoenix going to damage that medevac, but it's still going to cause trouble. Great storms! 1 good storm, but his High Templar are very clumped. If Byun wants, he could go back in there and EMP that. Zealots warping in there in the main base should be able to defend. That drop being a nuisance. Byun's keeping him really busy with this handful of units, which I really feel by going for the 2nd pylon was a very silly move. He's lucky to have not paid a bigger price. So Byun's getting away with a bit of risky plays, and that's good for his confidence. Makes you feel like, okay, I'm not getting punished for these moves. And don't get me wrong, guys, he's aware that he was lucky to get away when he did. He knows there's lots of Stalkers out. He knows it's a swap into Blink play. And getting away with that makes him feel very, very happy. Observer, going to siege up on this, some good map vision. Zealots do come in. That armory we were talking about. Oh, I like the Observer there. Just going to clear that bad boy up and then get the Observer out of there so it hopefully doesn't get scanned down. Good moves by herO. He's finally getting into double Colossus play. He's got the extended thermal lance upgrade, 2 immortals already out, 7 High Templar on the map. Still got a few Phoenix, a few Stalkers. He's got the second Forge coming in as well. I don't think he should commit to a fight, herO, until he's got those 2 Colossus out and preferably range. But once he's got those, I think this is actually in his favor. Byun's very committed to this. He's got a 4th base up now and 2-2 on the way. But it feels like with these Colossus, this could be a good moment for herO as long as they don't just get jumped on. Oh, I mean, Byun has to run away. The Storm does end up hurting herO a little bit more than Byun. Unfortunately for herO, he doesn't have enough units to chase. But actually, there's so little healing. There's not enough medevacs to pick up these units. They are cutting down the Zealots very well, and they have denied the 5th base for a long time by being on this side of the map. But he's got to get out. He's got to get out. herO needs to run. Ghost's not very good at running. The Stim Bio very wounded. These Widow Mines may cover his retreat a little bit. herO's supply not looking that great. herO needs that 5th base. He just bled out a lot of Zealots in that last fight. 28 Zealots went down. Yeah, that feels like he's messed up a little bit. So I do think herO chased in that fight just a little sloppily. He kind of had to commit initially because his Colossus were in the open. But after that, maybe could have had a bit more caution. What do we got here? Widow Mine there as well. Fires on the Zealot that was deep in the red. Not a big deal. Double Disruptor Production's on the way for herO. He's still looking to be aggressive. He's looking to be large and in charge. I like the split on the High Templar and the zoning Psystorm. Very good move. Very good move, but Byun also does take it out. Another zoning Storm. The Immortals get clopped by the EMP. Oh, he gets rid of +2 armor. The armory's out front as well, but oh, moving into this position. He's got the Storms. A second layer of Storms comes in from behind. Byun just does not have the numbers. Those Colossus are roasting the SCVs. There's still Stalkers, not to mention one Archon that managed to morph just before those High Templar died. Disruptors do get down here as well, and that was a crucial attack from herO. 20 SCVs go down. And that is huge. 20 workers, gets the armory in the second eBay. And Byun says, couldn't you have just given me a minute to get some Vikings out and a few more EMPs up? Because it was those backup High Templar that came in late in the fight that he didn't have an EMP left to deal with. And that's the trick with High Templar. If you're all clumped up together, they're terrible, right? And the first ones almost always get EMP'd, but it's the ones that come in from the flanks or trickle in halfway through the battle that often turn things. Often it's when you lose a fight and start running away and the Terran chases you. A High Templar walks up, storms their entire army to death. That's just the nature of High Templar. The armory died, which means these Widow Mines will also reveal themselves after shooting until that new armory is built. Equal upgrades on both sides. We've got +3 attack on the way, double disruptor production going. It's going to try and get +2 armor in the near future. Warp Prism speed, or maybe even Prism speed actually, is coming in. Gravitic boosters, I always get the Gravitic drive is Prism, Gravitic boosters is Observers. Nice, and similar names to confuse us. But this is a good position for herO to be in. After that last game, I thought he might be a bit shook. But then I realized that herO never gets shook. When you play like a Chaos Master, it feels like you become more and more immune to getting upset. Oh, the Colossus! Nice snipe for Byun. He gets 1, 2, 3 Colossus go down. There's still one left, but I think that's worth his Vikings. Gets a few Stalkers there as well. Man, Byun's actually up in supply right now. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer for herO. This is 5th base, needs to stay up. He's got a new one on the bottom, but he doesn't have probes there. He's got to hang on to this situation for now. The Bio's very wounded, though. They're double stimmed. The Zealot's a bit too far forward. The Colossus goes down. Let loose the balls of war. Okay. Oh, come on. He's going to throw another one. Okay, good zoning. There's not enough medevac healing. Byun can't dance. If you got 10 medevacs, you can stim and dance and spread all day. You can keep baiting those balls out and look for the opening. But with a limited medevac count, just 7, and the unit's already heavily stimmed, it's very difficult. Gets a disruptor, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, gets a 4th one almost. It's a lot of bio to lose for it, though. Those sort of trades are always tough. Oh, you're crazy. Byun is insane. This is what I'm talking about. He's a madman. He says, you know what? I don't think you're going to chase me up there. Loads half his army to medevacs and just zooms through the middle of the map. He doesn't know what's down here, but he's like, yeah, it'll be right. Should be right, mate. Just go unload on the other side of the map. Hope it works. Unfortunately for him, herO has good instincts. herO's realized this has happened, it seems. Or it realized the army is threatening down there. Disruptors and Colossus in the open, but not enough bio to capitalize. Not with Psystorms, Disruptors, and Colossus. That is an absolute tsunami of splash damage represented in that little clump of units. You do not want your bio to be clumped up anywhere near those bad boys. or they will get jumped on. herO still here with the dominant production and income. He's got 10 gateways, 3,500 minerals a minute, a lot more than his opponent. He's trying to venture forward with that High Templar. He's looking for the big Stormy. Oh, that's a big juicy, ain't it? Oh, with a second one. Oh, the Zealots. Okay, it looks like the High Templar went to attack the south side. They all got EMP'd, but that allowed the High Templar Storms to land on the top. He's going to try and thrust in the middle as well. herO right now trying to penetrate all angles at once, looking for the point of weakness. And yet again, if he can deny that +2 armor upgrade, that's going to be a massive bummer for Byun. But Byun flanks from the north side. Those guys are heavily wounded from the storms, though. I don't know if he has the hit points to really chase through. herO getting gunned down, but that's a lot of very low hit point bio. This could turn at any point in favor of herO, especially with that big Zealot warp in coming in. herO's supply is so much lower, though. Oh my god. herO just got a bit too fast and loose there. Sometimes, guys, you try to penetrate every hole at once, you end up penetrating none of them. He got deflected from 3 sides at once. Byun, he's so crazy. Okay, that's a problem. If you scan, he knows you're dropping. He knows to go north, because there's only one reason you scan, and that's you're worried about observers spotting you picking your whole army up. Luckily, he's got Widow Mines everywhere, and that Widow Mine spready for Byun, covering the map with those is a huge move. Unfortunately for him, herO can recover from these bad fights. herO has 88 probes and his 7 bases. He's going to dive on this like an absolute psychotic madman. This is the dumbest move I've ever seen from herO. He throws away a Colossus and 30 Zealots. Does he get it? I can't believe he got it. I thought the mass repair was good, but he manages to kill 17 SCVs and get the planetary despite that. herO is honestly playing the most first world version of StarCraft I've ever seen. He's just like, I got money to burn. Oh, are you struggling with cold and shelter from the elements? Lights a big bag of money on fire and somehow it works out. herO manages to take out the base in the bottom, recalls to save the base in the top. Byun still is way up in supply, but that income is the problem. Losing that base in the bottom, there was already a massive work account for herO, and now he's able to just continue burning money to win this game. It's crazy. It's extreme aggression and extreme greed combined, and Byun is playing a bit more conservative. Losing that base really has hamstrung him. He's still got a big army. If he takes a really good fight or two, he crushes this. He's up 40 army supply. Byun definitely is in a pretty good position in that regard, especially these Widow Mines, these value mines we should call them, that are controlling the middle of this map. I mean, at some point, you got to just move an observer down there. herO also needs a DT shrine. Where is his DT shrine? Guys, he's been rich for a while. The fact that he doesn't have a DT shrine is a big problem. I think it's because he's a little gas-starved. But you can imagine what DTs would do trickling into Byun's bases. He's broke on the income. He's got a way bigger army. Oh, herO, this is where you got surrounded last time. Do not push in there. Get out of there. He's going to surround his own army if he's not careful. Does clean up that Widow Mine. But look, big army on the top left. There's a Tastelope watching on in anticipation. Going to see what goes on. 3-2 versus 3-2-1 upgrades. Nice EMP and shelling from the high ground. Byun's coming in from that left side. It's a lot of disruptors, but the Stalkers blink forward there. They get a few medevacs, but this might be an overextension. Disruptor on the top. Oh, that's a big bloody chunk of bio that gets taken out in the opening of that fight. And as herO, you want to chip away at him because you've got way smaller army supply but way bigger income. So you want small trades. Byun wants one big surround, one crushing, decisive engagement. herO wants to avoid that. If he can fight just half of the army like this, that's good for him. He's going to attack to the top left. The Widow Mines are doing big damage on him. This bio is doing a great job of falling back to the left. Disruptors could clear up all these Widow Mines if he wants to. Indeed, he does do so. herO's going to need to keep taking gases. Remember, guys, the gases are running out. This is the point where herO really struggled. It's the lack of economy management later in the game where he keeps taking only single gases on these new bases when he should just take 2 of them on one of them and get a bit of extra gas. That gas income's good for now, but it's going to be dropping over the next 2 minutes. He's got to keep an eye on that. Oh, Byun gets so many disruptors. Oh my god, what? Finally, one ball lands. He's killed like 11 disruptors this game. I think 6 or 7 of them went down there, and he saves a lot of the bio and the medevacs. Byun is just absolutely rampaging this game. And now you gotta get out, herO. You just lost all your disruptors. You can't keep attacking when you have the worst army. herO says, what are you talking about? My army's always better. I say, why? What facts do you have to back that up? He says, it's mine. My name's herO. My specialty is literally acting like the aggressor, like the big boy, like the bully, even when I'm miles behind in games. This is what I do. And I think, honestly, Byun's gone to counterattack the top left, so maybe it works out. He gets some more pickoffs, 7 more SCVs. He's going to cancel that Nexus. herO should cancel that, and indeed he will. This game, man, this series is absolute just madness. What is going on? Few probes rally up to the top left. They do go down to just 80 probes is herO now. He never really got a big bank, and remember, units lost tab. 8,000 resources in favor of Byun. Byun's going to run up the top. He catches a Colossus in the bottom. Oh, he's doing this very well. Recall comes in. This Bio army might get caught by the Zealots. These guys are going to get recall jumped on. Oh, the Vikings might take out the Colossus, though. At least one of them. There's not enough. There's not enough Protoss here. And meanwhile, he catches the Disruptors. Byun turns around and turns this game upside down. He wins the fight in the middle decisively, while barely trading evenly on the north side and even getting some Vikings out of there. What the hell? I mean, I often call Estrella a wizard, but in this one, it's Byun. Byun has just shown that he has the sleeves. His sleeves are gapier than I've ever seen before. They are the loosest sleeves I've ever seen. He's pulling rabbits out of hats. He's pulling dead men out of coffins. He is pulling this game back from a terrible situation. He is literally doing some of the dirtiest, most badass street magic I've ever seen. herO trying to hang on. He's not done yet. He's still got disruptors. 2 more disruptors are building at a time. He's still got good income. He's still at that bottom right base. And his base actually survives all of that. Remember that Byun's income is not great. He's floated his main down to this other base in the bottom center of the map. But his bio is so bruised. He doesn't have the hit points. But the disruptors, once again, herO. I don't know, it's got to be a fetish or something at this point. Those disruptors just keep getting stomped on. He's also rallying through these Widow Mines, which keep on peppering them down, so they're much weaker than they should be. The bio is moving south to regroup, give those medevacs time to heal. And mass mule, mass SCVs transferring out to this base. That mineral line's okay. This one's super fresh. And this one has a few mineral patches left with just a couple hundred minerals on each one of those. The Stalker's running down. This Widow Mine is going to take its 4th Protoss kill. Remember, every Protoss unit costs more than a Widow Mine. The Zealot, the cheapest one, costs equal. Those Widow Mines have been paying for themselves 3-fold, 4-fold, some of them 5-fold. If they've killed 4 Stalkers, it's insane value. The Stalkers are going to dive in and damage the economy. Battery overcharge, mass Zealot, and Disruptors should be able to defend this angle. Throws 2 Disruptors out. I'd like to see more individual probing Disruptor shots from herO, less shooting them all at once too late. That's been his problem this game. It was too early in that previous game. This game, he's almost been holding on to them for too long. Those Stalkers going to blink on out of there. Units lost tab, 10,000 resources in favor of Byun. He's been fighting like a champ. People say Protoss units have the best units in the game. Byun basically says, I control my units good enough that they become Protoss units. They become super duper powerful and efficient. Bio, Ghost, Medevac facing off. That's a lot of disruptors in there. 5, 1 Colossus, 1 Archon. It's mostly a Zealot army. Is herO going to go for the dive on the planetary again? Is he going to hug that planetary with 30 Zealots yet again? This seems to be herO's favorite move on this map. Click the planetary with mass Zealot. It's a crazy move, especially after your whole army's being EMP'd. I don't think he should commit in there. Snipes! I like the snipes, but some of them got broken by distance. Disruptor throws a zoning shot and a double drop going to the north. That's going to deny those 4 mineral patches, severely hampering herO's income. A very good play. Now, recall is available. He could recall a small chunk of his army, but Byun's going to jump on him. Okay, just 1 or 2. Don't throw all the disruptors at once, and you've got to kill those Vikings. But it's hard to micro while dealing with that army on the top. He throws another 2 disruptors, a bit panicky. He's emptied his disruptors, and Byun immediately jumps in and grabs one of them. Another one goes down. The Stalkers and the Zealots go for the fight, though. Byun may have jumped a bit too far forward. More and more Zealots coming in. Another disruptor gets clicked down just as it comes off cooldown. Doesn't even get a chance to fire its shot. 2 more disruptors fly! He gets a bunch of Zealots, but a bunch of bio. 2 full medevacs! 2 full medevacs just got shot down. The focus fire from herO is out of this world. If he breaks this base, he may break Byun. But the Widow Mines kick herO right in the balls. Both disruptors go down. The flanker marauders coming in from behind. SCV pull, mass Viking land. He's going to be able to defend this base and get it mining again. Byun is up 40 supply. herO's income is drying up. It's equal income for both sides. And when one side is up 50 supply, we know what that means. We know that Byun will refuse to die today and will just hang on and keep on fighting. What the hell? I really wanted to cast this series before I went to Katowice and see what happened because I knew it was a close one. I didn't know it was that close. I knew it was a long series. I didn't realize why. But this tells me if Byun can get his wrists under control, he has a really good shot going into the World Championship. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Thank you very much for watching. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to check out the Patreon, as well as some of the other cool games that are on the screen. Big thanks to Jacob G and Max San, not to mention everyone else who's supporting the Patreon. Links below in the description if you want to hop on board. Thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.